Hello guys, thank you for joining us. My name is Jorge Trevino. I'm a realtor here in Phoenix and also in Tucson, Arizona. And we're here to talk about the market update. What's going on with the market? Why is everybody saying that it is a crazy market? I'm here at the studios of PEG MPP and I'm here with my friend Edgar Guerrero.
That's right, JT. Jorge Trevino. Hey, man, I'm really excited, man. We got a lot of stuff we want to cover today. Especially, I really want to see what you got for us with the real estate market update here in Phoenix, Arizona. Plus, man, what's going on with we don't have any houses. If you're a seller, we're going to tell you why it's the right time for you to sell your home or any property that you have. So stay tuned. This is the Jorge Trevino live podcast, live show on Facebook. Let's get started.
Let's get started. All right, thank you for staying with us. So like we said, we're going to talk about a market update. What does it mean that we're in a seller's market? Why is everybody talking about it? Why is everybody saying, oh, the market is so hot, the market is so crazy? Well, the reason why is that there is way more buyers than sellers. The demand for the homes is super high, and the offer, the inventory for the houses is super low.
Super low, man. There's a lot. There's 5, 10. Normally, how many people would be trying to buy the same house? Like, what's the average, you'd say, a couple years ago compared to now?
Well, it was very different. I don't have that number, but it was very, very, very different. Right now, like before, when it was a buyer's market, 8 months.
Well, we had cheaper houses, which was probably
right.
one of the things.
One of the things, and the interest rate was a little higher also. So, it was a totally different market. I remember sellers were providing seller concessions. Seller concessions is basically a gift for to the buyer to buy your house. Like if you buy my house, I will offer you 2.5, 3% concessions.
Yeah.
Right now, that's unheard of. Wow. Right now, the buyer is having to go $25,000, $15,000 on top of asking price just to win the offer, just to win the bid. Right now, basically, it's not like that, but basically works like a bid, like an auction. The sellers are getting several offers and they choose the highest and best.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Obviously, like any seller would do.
We want the most money for our house,
of course.
and we've lived in it. We love it. We don't want to sell it, but now's the time. I always think about the stock market. I'm not big in stocks, but you know what? Learning a little bit more, now that I hang out with you a little more about the real estate, man, it's the time to sell. Like stocks, you sell when they're high. You're buying when they're low, and now's the time. If you purchased a couple homes years ago, and now if you're thinking about flipping them, this is the time to do it, and obviously you got to have the right person to help you, and that's why I always say this is the man right here, JT, Jorge Trevino, Realtor, and I'm going to give the number out for all those people that are listening to us, which is 602-696 8393. If you have any questions, any comments, or if you're watching us live right now, guys, feel free to leave, drop that comment, drop that like, and make sure you guys share this stream, share this audio with your friends, so they can. If you have a friend that's trying to sell their property right now, man, Jorge, it's crazy what's going on. You obviously know the market a little bit more here in Phoenix and Tucson and the surrounding areas.
Right.
I mean, let's focus now on sellers. Like if somebody out there is trying to sell their homes, what do you recommend? What's the first thing? Obviously, we know they got to call you, and then what comes after that? How do you guide them?
Well, you said it. No, the first thing is to call me, 602-696-8393. I will make an appointment to go see the house. I physically need to see the house to make some recommendations that will get you more money for your house. If basically it's just cleaning here and there, removing all the clutter from everywhere. Normally on a daily basis, the toaster sits on top of the kitchen countertop, the oil, what else? The blender. Well, for the coffee pots, exactly, the coffee pot. So most of the time we ask the sellers to remove everything from the kitchen because you have to neutralize. You have to think. You can't think like everyone else out there, right? But you have to think, you have to portray, you have to show your house in a way that most people are going to like it. Some people like their coffee pot on top of the countertop all the time.
Not
some people
everybody,
like,
right?
exactly, some people don't. So, we try to be appealing to everyone out there. So, little recommendations like that, if there's a scuff mark on the wall, well, invest $10 and get it painted. Things like that. Things that I keep saying this,
It's like you put on your interior design hat.
yeah, just a little bit. I keep saying this, and I don't say this to brag. Most sellers have not sold many houses in their lives. Most of them have sold one or two. Some of them have not sold any houses in their lives, and we have sold a couple, right?
Ah.
So we have some experience. We know what works. We will know what doesn't work. The second thing that you need to, the why you need to call us is because we're going to do a CMA, a comparative market analysis for your home, and we're going to tell you how much it is worth. So, you can do the math, and I can help you do the math to see how much you owe on the house, and approximately after closing costs, how much you're going to get. Something that you need to take into consideration is that the seller pays the commissions. The seller pays the buyer's agent commission, and the seller pays the seller's agent commission. So we need to talk about that too. I will tell you how much they are and how it works. You don't need to pay anything in advance. That comes from your home's equity. Why use a realtor? Because that's what we do. We sell houses. We have systems in place, marketing in place. Your house, you want your house to be in Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Redfin, and all of those big sites. You have to call a realtor. If you want to do it yourself, you're going to pay like $500 per website. So it's not, and then it doesn't,
Or it does add up,
it does, but
it
and then it's a lot of work, and,
Yeah.
and again and again and again. How many houses have they sold, and versus what a professional in real estate does? We are very experienced, and we know what works and what doesn't work. We will tell you how to negotiate the offers. We are going to help you with the contracts and the negotiations for the repairs and this and that, because the buyer has a few days, normally it's 10 days, to do an inspection. And they're going to ask for repairs, and we're going to tell you what to do and what not to do. If they're asking for a new AC unit, when your AC unit is fine, it's perfectly fine, well, you don't need to provide something like that unless you really, really do, because it's completely broken, and I don't know.
But that's something that you guys normally will jump in and
Yes.
negotiate or try to
Yes.
figure out how to take
Yes.
care of that. When when you're the seller and you're trying to do this yourself, obviously it's a hassle.
It is a hassle.
It's a hassle. You're already working. You're
Leave it
taking
to
care
the
of your
pros.
job. Yeah. And this is what we're trying to cover, today in our show, guys. Leave a comment if you have any questions. If you're going through this, or if you're thinking about selling your home, but you're scared. A lot of people don't do things because they're scared. They don't want
Yes.
they don't want to take a risk. They're not sure because they've already talked to 2, 3, 4 other real estate agents, and they get different feedback from different people. Now, when it comes to the price of your house, it don't matter what real estate agent you work with. Or is that true, or is that false?
The real estate does not dictate how much your house is worth.
Like
We
the
can
agent,
help you,
right?
right? The real estate agent. Sorry. The real estate agent doesn't dictate how much your house is worth. I can help you. I can tell you how much it is worth, and I can do, like I said, a comparative market analysis, showing you evidence of how much your house is worth on my computer right there and there live. I'm not going to send you a made-up report. I'm going to do it right in front of you, and I'm going to tell you how much it is worth. Most of the time, they tell me, oh, wow, Zillow says that it is $30,000, $40,000 less. Some other times, they tell me, well, you don't know what you're doing, because Zillow says that my house is worth $100,000. There is millions and millions and millions upon millions of homes in the United States, and Zillow does not have a very perfect, 100% efficient and accurate numbers for every single house out there. So a lot of times Zillow is wrong. It's wrong. If they say that your house is worth $100,000 more than what a local professional says, they gotta be wrong.
Yeah.
So we'll help you understand why your house and how much your house is worth and why. The second process about that is there's an appraisal. So if your house doesn't sell for cash, there has to be an appraised done by the bank, done by the lender, who is behind the buyer. You know,
Okay.
the financial institution helping the buyer. They need to know that the house is worth what, you know, if I say the house is worth 400,000 and we upload it and we put it for sale for 410, which is what I normally do, you cannot negotiate down. You can, sorry, up. You cannot go up. If your house is worth 400,000, what I would do is 410. You know, we'll see what we get, and then people are going to negotiate down. That's understandable. But if your house is worth 410, I'm not gonna suggest to sell it for 400,000 because then we cannot negotiate.
You know, you get
upwards.
somebody coming in with cash and they're like, I'll give you 410 because
Right.
maybe they're coming from a different market where those houses,
Where the
are
houses-
way more expensive
Exactly.
than what we have here in Phoenix.
Exactly,
or
because
Tucson or
they're
surrounding
not
areas.
used to it. Yeah. So if the buyer again is financing the deal, the bank is gonna send an appraiser, and the appraiser is gonna say how much money the buyer is gonna get for that house. You know. So if you make an appointment with 5 or 10 realtors, don't go with the one that is gonna offer you more money for your house, because your house is only worth so much. You know, unfortunately, we're in love with our houses, and we always think
My
that
kids grew up in it.
right,
Come on.
and we always think that our house is the most expensive thing in the world. It's not necessarily like that, and you know, there is 2 ways to appraise a house: with feelings and without it. And the appraiser, the bank, and me, and anybody, it's not gonna put any feelings in it. So, you know, so it's hard, it's cold, but that's what it is. You know, this is a financial transaction.
Take the door with you, and we'll put another door.
Right.
If you
With
were
the
measuring,
mags, I did that.
You see, I'm telling
Yes.
you, if you're measuring,
The kids, yeah.
You're measuring their height. You
I
know,
will take that
and you're
door
like,
with
oh,
me.
I'm gonna take the door. I'll put in another door. It's
Door
20
does
bucks.
not convey.
$20 at Lowe's or wherever you want to buy that.
Right.
Guys, 602-969-83.
No, 696.
602-696-8393. Jorge Trevino, Realtors, with us. If you're watching us live, or if you're listening to us on podcast, you're listening to the audio, want to thank you guys once again. And the topics that we were covering, obviously, is seller's market. And today, I know you got some graphs, you got some information that we want to talk about, which is the real estate market update, because we want to know, you know, how do these, what's impacting us? How are these numbers? Where do they come from? What's going on? And here's the graph. I think we're gonna see it now. Should we go to that graph? Let's go to that graph then. All right.
So here we go. Why is the market so crazy right now? Because it's a matter of supply and demand. The demand is way, way, way higher than the supply right now. There is not enough homes, simply not enough homes for sale, on top of the interest rates being super, super, super low. Right now, the interest rate, I've seen some people buy houses at 2.5% interest rate. So here we go. The active listings for sale for the month of February was 6,162 houses for sale in the Phoenix metro area. That is 50.7% less. Again, 50.7, almost 51% lower than previous month. And then the listings under contract was 10,131. That's 23.8% higher than the last month. So it means that there is more buyers, even more than January. And then the monthly median sales price is $335,000 for the area of Phoenix, and that is 15.5% in a month. Think about this, guys. Your house gaining 15.5% in a matter of days.
Wow.
The closed sales in the area of Phoenix went up 26%. Let's go to the other graph. Okay, so the listing success rate, that means that 88.7% was the success rate for this year. So there is more houses that are actually closing the deal, because sometimes some things happen, the buyers don't get the loan, or they walk away, or different things. Well, in this case,
that's why
January,
we never hit the 100%, right? You're
exactly.
Showing, yes, you're at 88.7, but that other 12 or 11.3 is the ones that fall through the cracks, right?
Exactly, they fall through the cracks. So compared to 2019, 2020, 2021.
Man, look at that.
Look at the numbers. In 2019, it was 74.6% were successful. In 2020, 81.6. In January 2020, before the pandemic, it was amazing. It was a really good market. Well, January 2021, it is 88.7%. Like the buyers are crazy.
Yeah.
Just they don't care. You know, if they see blemishes in the house, they don't care. They get the house and they want the house. You know, right now this last graph is very, very funny, very interesting, very important, because it means that if we were a retail store, in our shelves we have enough inventory to supply the demand for less than a month. If no houses were going to come to the market, if no houses are listed today, it takes 0.7, which is what?
Wow.
3 weeks maybe?
Yeah.
A little bit over 3 weeks for the whole inventory in the area of Phoenix to fly away.
Man, that is crazy.
That is crazy. So this is why the sales price is so high,
Yep.
because the supply is way less than the demand. There's a lot of people coming from other states. Like, for example, people that bought their house in California in 2010 for $300,000 right now are selling their homes for like $1 million, sometimes $1.2 million for those same houses. So they have, you know, $800,000, $900,000, $700,000 in equity, cash, liquid.
Oh my goodness.
And they come to Phoenix and they get a huge house, cash.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And they got money left over.
and they got money left over, or they do a 50% down payment,
Yeah.
and then they get
Yeah.
that way they get a very low monthly payment, and they get a huge house. I mean, right now I'm selling a house on 68th Drive. Well, it's 68th Avenue in Olive.
Yeah.
It's I believe it's 2,600 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms with a pool for $385. So, you know, it's really good. It's really good. Our price is
Plus
even
at a
though
low interest, you know.
the interest is 2.5% for 30 years.
Oh,
Imagine
my
that,
goodness.
you know. So even though $385,000 is a little higher for the Phoenix area,
Yeah.
especially for, you know, for this house in particular, it is way higher than it was a couple months ago. And it's not for California buyers.
Nope.
California buyers will be super happy
They love
to pay something
Arizona
like
and they
that.
love our weather.
And nothing happens every year. Nothing. There is no fires in Phoenix. There is no earthquakes. There is no hurricanes. There's nothing. We're just happy
just
and we
chilling
enjoy
and-
the sun. We get like 6 inches of sun every day. over
Wow,
here.
that's incredible. Guys, if I know you're listening to us, we just showed some of these graphs, and we're going to be displaying them on Facebook and some of our social media platforms, which is J. Trevino, Realtor on Facebook and Instagram. So you guys can take a closer look at them. And I know you guys seen them live as well. Really excited to see what's going on because, you know, looking at the way that the housing thing has changed. You know, I bought a house here in Phoenix, you know, 6 years ago. And it was really scary because you've been renting all your life, and people are like, always, come on, buy your house. And now it's like, and now that we have a house and we see the numbers, like our equity doubling or getting,
Yes.
and people will ask, how much do you pay for your house? You know, I only pay this much, and I bought it for this much, and now it's worth almost close to $300,000, doubled, and I'm like, how do I? You know, make some money, you know, like sell the house. Can we buy another house? Can we invest? You know, there's people that did take advantage and bought 2-3 houses, you know, when they were really low. So,
Right.
So if you have a chance to sell your home, you know, this is the time to do it, guys. This is the time to take advantage. And I know you're thinking about it. And I know, you know, I'd hate to see the point where prices start going down, but the interest starts going up, and you don't sell your house
Right.
when it's at higher.
Right.
Cost,
No,
you
they
know?
can sell the house. They can still sell the house right now. But think about the buyer. The buyer. So if you're a seller, think about the buyer. If you're a buyer, call me.
Yeah.
But houses that are $200,000, or let's say $300,000 for 5% interest is a more expensive home than a $400,000 at 2.5%. So if you do the math month by month for 30 years, you end up paying more for the lower house with an interest rate. Right now, the interest rate, yes, the houses are higher because the supply and demand and all that, what I already explained. But the interest rate is super low, super low. It has never been this low in the history of the banking in America.
Man,
Never.
that's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
this is exciting, man. It's exciting news for everybody, and I want to thank everybody for listening to us on our podcast. Make sure you guys go back. We got a lot of other really neat topics that we've been covering, English and in Spanish, and as well, check us out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. You'll be able to see us live as well, or our Facebook lives, or on our social media platforms, man. JT, I like that name now. Jorge Trevino, Realtor with you guys, man. 602-696-8393. Excited for you guys to stay with us, and hope to have more topics in the near future.
All right. And one thing I want to add is if you know someone who has a house that is not selling or it's a little older and outdated, and if their house is outdated and the house is a little bit in need of some repairs or something like that, some love, please call me. I have buyers. I have a couple of investors that are looking for this kind of houses because they're in the construction business and they remodel them and stuff, and so if you or you know someone that has a house like that, if you would like to receive an offer, you don't have no commitments, but if you want to receive an offer for such house, let me know. My number is 602-696-8393, and my email is jtrevinorealtor@gmail.com. My website is jtrevino.com. Thank you for joining us. You have a blessed day.